Weekdays, stream First Alert Weather Plus.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us.
WLBT's First Alert Weather Team is keeping you up to date with the latest information. From your morning commute to your afternoon drive, we're on your side, streaming on your favorite devices. WLBT First Alert Weather Plus.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us here on WBT Plus First Alert Weather Edition. I'm meteorologist Chase Franks, and I will be going over all the details of what you need to know about your local forecast for this First Alert Weather Day. So let's just dive into all the details right now. If you have any questions, do not be afraid to ask at any times, or if you just want to say good morning, I'm here to please. I want to make sure that you know what's going on and that you're aware that we are expecting some strong to severe storms. So again, a First Alert Weather Day is in place. If you live in the yellow area or even all the way up into areas to the north, and we're going to break it down county by county, but damaging winds, hail, and tornadoes are expected for the day today. Right now, it's fairly quiet, though. We're starting to see a little bit of a break in the clouds, which is not a good thing. Whenever we track severe weather, that means that we're going to get a lot more daytime heating, which will allow the atmosphere to get a little bit more juice into it before we'll see these storms pop off. So here's what we're looking at right now. Our First Alert radar is quiet. However, and I'm actually going to scroll out, you go off to the north and you're already seeing a lot of heavy thunderstorms into much of southern Tennessee and northern Mississippi, some of which are very severe. A tornado warning has been issued for areas off in that area. We're quiet right now. So let's talk about when we'll be expecting these storms. So again, it's going to look a little jumpy, but I'm going to break it down hour by hour for you. So here's a look at 10 a.m. So in the next hour, we're still staying fairly dry, starting to see some cells popping up to the west of us. But if you notice, we stay quiet throughout much of the early afternoon. It's really at the 4 o'clock hour. Look to the west. You see those cells starting to develop. We look for the kidney bean shapes as that shows us that we're really going to be talking about severe weather into the day on into the rest of the day today, afternoon hours. Man, I'm tired. I've been up for a long time now, and over this past weekend, thankfully, we are going to be looking fairly dry at first. I hope that we see a heavy cloud base settle in. That'll help with the heating effect, where we could see a little bit less in terms of the strength of these storms. But anywhere from around, I'd say 4 o'clock to about 8 o'clock, you'll start to see them move into the forecast for areas west of I-55. If you notice, some of these have a little bit of a kidney bean-shaped cell, a little bit of a turning action, or at least that's what the high-resolution models are picking up. Good morning, Enrique. I hope you're having a great start to your day, and you are staying weather aware, because we are going to be talking about severe storms throughout this afternoon and evening. So these cells do have the potential to produce tornadoes, to produce damaging winds, to produce large hail. So it should die off into the overnight time frame, which is good. And around 10 o'clock, most of us should be fairly quiet. And again, by midnight, even better. It's pretty much cleared the area. So that's all well and good. We will stay quiet into the day on Wednesday as well. So let's talk about this. This is the amount of energy that we're expecting into the atmosphere. It's taking a while to pull up. But again, if you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask. Good morning, Linda. Hope you're having a great start to your day as well, and you are staying weather aware. This is mainly for the afternoon and evening. So again, while this is loading, good morning, Tanya. We'll talk about Rankin County here in just a second, but something that I want you to be aware of, that some of you might be greatly impacted by this storm system into the afternoon and evening commute time. So one thing that I wanted to take notice of is make sure you don't park under an overpass. If you do get into one of these cells that does pass over you, please don't. That's not what you're supposed to do. You just need to pull off if you can, or if it is quite literally you have a little bit of a heads up. Honestly, you should have a heads up going into the afternoon evening commute. This is your heads up. Try to find a way that you can pull off somewhere, maybe go inside. Have a safe place on the road if you are caught in your evening commute in some of these cells. If you are already home, that's great. Know your safe place at home. If you're still at work by the time these storms hit through, make sure you know your safe place at work. Just go through all of the precautions throughout the day today. If you notice by 5 o'clock, showing us a little bit on the lower end. However, it picks up quite a bit. Right around there, around 6 o'clock, you can notice it gets up to some of those higher values. So this is something to take notice of. We will have these bursts, and then if it can break through the cap. So The temperature aversion in the atmosphere is what's keeping us at bay throughout most of the day, but I do anticipate that to break. We'll have too much juice in the atmosphere, too much lifting, and too much turning going on. So that's not necessarily a great thing. We aren't necessarily looking at that being the main risk. Damaging winds, to be honest, and large hail are going to be the main risk for a good portion of the area, but I do think that we'll see a couple tornadoes. It's just a matter of where and when we'll see them develop. And could be outside of our viewing area into much of northern Mississippi. That's where we have the highest enhanced risk. So, Tanya, you asked about Rankin County. I'm going to dive into all the details. So if I name your county, you are looking at a marginal risk. So a level 1 out of 5 in Pike, Walthall, Lawrence, Jeff Davis, Lincoln, Franklin, and the most of Smith, Simpson, Copiah, and Adams County. Now, if you live in the northern portions of these counties that I'm about to list, then you need to be weather aware. If you live on the northern side of Adams, Jefferson, Copiah, Simpson, and Smith County, you need to make sure you have ways of staying updated into the earlier part of the day today, because we could be seeing those storms that start off into our area, into the metro and off into the Delta, start to move into your forecast into the night tonight. So again, your threats are still there, just on the lot of the lower end scale. You won't have a lot of the daytime heating effect still lingering around into the overnight hours by the time it reaches you. So a lot of the instability should have pretty much settled itself out into the day. So thankfully, level 1 out of 5 further off to the south. However, good morning into Crystal Springs. If you live into Claiborne, Hines, Rankin, Scott, Madison, Yazoo, Issaquena, Warren, Sharkey, or Leake County, you are in a level 2 out of 5 slight risk. That means you're going to be looking at the same risk zone or the same risk as areas off to the north, like Humphreys, Holmes, and Atala County, but still it's just on the lower end in comparison to that enhanced risk. But still, you could easily be seeing damaging winds, large hail, tornadoes into that portion of the area. So you need to make sure you are staying alert and aware going forward into the rest of the day today. So that's really what we're going to be tracking. We'll pull up this graphic here to take a look at the fuel. That was the tornadic potential. So here's a look at, I don't want to go that far. Look at all that energy as that front passes. So it's the highest it can possibly be. So again, it's just a matter of will these storms break through the cap? So that's our biggest concern, is if and when they break through the cap, how strong will these storms develop? How rapid of intensification can we expect? And when will we see these storms start to develop off to the west? So I want to make sure that you know that we are definitely going to be looking at the chance for some stronger to severe storms. Missy said, is the tornado energy matching up with the weather being over the counties? Actually, I wanted to bring that to your attention. Yes, it is. So this is a look at, we'll talk about that here in just a second. So this look at 7 o'clock, 7 p.m. It shows us having a high amount of instability and storm energy going into that time frame, just into the lower Delta, the Jackson Metro, Natchez, into Macomb. So let's talk about where you can actually see those storms popping up. I do think it's likely that you'll see those severe storms, especially into areas north and along I-20. You see that massive hole off into northern Mississippi. I don't think that's true. I think that that's just kind of funky, but still, look, this is 7 o'clock, 7 p.m., showing you that where we saw the highest amount of energy, we are still seeing those cells lining up. So everything is starting to line up a little bit better. The models are just a little bit indifferent on the exact timing, on the exact impacts that you'll see, but the severe threats are still there nonetheless. So I want you to be aware that we are all going to be tracking out these same threats. So yes, Missy, the energy is starting to match up a little bit better, but again, we'll be bringing you updates throughout the day today. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask them into this Facebook. I'll go throughout the rest of the day today, or I'll go out throughout the comments. And if you have any questions, you can message me directly. I will be happy to answer them at any time. Just please, I asked one thing, is to make sure you have multiple ways to stay updated. Again, every meteorologist has their own opinion, but I want to make sure that you know what my opinion is and what everyone here in the building is saying, what everyone in the National Weather Service is saying. So I'm trying to keep it, I'm trying to give you multiple different perspectives, to be honest. I want you to be aware of what's going on from my perspective. I'll tell you my opinion, and I want you to also look at other factual evidence of what the National Weather Service is saying, what other people might be saying. So please, have ways of staying updated. I really hope that the system breaks down, but still, it doesn't always play out that way. So we hope for the best, but we want to prepare you for the worst. So if you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask me at any time. I would be happy to answer them throughout the rest of the day today. Meteorologist Ashley Civic and Elise will be taking care of any severe storms that will be popping up. I'm covering for the rest of the morning. So again, I want you to know that we're a team here. So if you are like, Chase, you're great, but I prefer Elise. I get it. Just message her then. Just please message someone to make sure you know what's going on throughout the day today. But that's all I got for you right now. Please have a great rest of your day. We'll be bringing you updates throughout the afternoon and evening hours as well. And if anything does pop up, meteorologist Ashley Civic and Elise Ushman will be there to give you live updates online and on air. So please be safe today. Make sure you have your plan set in place. Know that the storms are going to fire up from 2 p.m. to about midnight. So please make sure you have a great rest of your day today. Good morning, Adrian, and good morning, Chris. And of course, Missy, it's my pleasure and my duty to make sure y'all are staying safe and aware. So if you have any other questions, don't be afraid to ask me at any time, but have a great rest of your day.